So Checkpoint just released R82 as general availability, meaning if you want to run the latest and greatest bleeding edge, you can download R82 and you can install it in your environment. However, the recommended version is still R81.20, and now it's November 2024. So normally it takes a few jumbo hot fixes, a few months before Checkpoint is putting the recommended stamp on something. And if you have an existing environment, I recommend you to wait. If you have a lab environment or you're doing a brand new installation, of course you can go for the R82 if you want to. So if we scroll down in the SK 181127, we can check all the new features of R82, and there are a bunch of them. And some of these I'm really excited to test and make a few videos on. So I would say the biggest ones, according to me at least, is the Elastic XL, which is the new clustering method that you can use for Checkpoint appliances. And VSNext, that is the new version of VSX, meaning virtualization of firewalls on top of Checkpoint clusters. So Checkpoint is of course highlighting some of the AI features. All of the vendors is talking about AI and how it can help you with certain things. And one of the features was highlighted during Vienna in CPX 2024, and this was this brand spoofing. And I think this is pretty cool for phishing websites, etc. So this is a picture I took from the presentation on CPX, which really highlight how hard it is to see the difference, or how hard it is to see the real logo, how hard it is to notice, is this a phishing website or is this the real website? And it was hard to recognize different logos from different companies, and this is something that AI can really help you with. And then there are, of course, some new DNS security features and some automatic security service configuration. So antivirus and antibot software is now enabled by default. If you don't have these blades, you of course need to disable it. But I like when it's more easy to just configure stuff and it just works. So more automatic things that we can get capability of viewing how it's configured, but it should be like default settings and it should just work. I don't want to put so much effort into things. And I would say like this, Checkpoint has improved a lot when it comes to or not improved a lot, but they've added things like videos on how to configure things. So this is good. I don't like reading stuff. I like videos, and it's much easier when you can just see a video on how to configure specific things, and you can have it as an example instead of following a lot of bullet points in I don't know how many pages these are, but a bunch of pages. So I like when they add videos. Thank you. So if we continue here we have one thing that is more and more important, and this is regarding HTTPS. So HTTPS is more or less, I don't know how big percentage of all the traffic is over HTTPS, but I would guess like 80%. So you really need to do HTTPS inspection, and it needs to be a lot more easy. It needs to be effortless. It shouldn't take so much performance from the boxes. So this is something that Checkpoint is really working on. So I think it's presented here some way. Here. So one new thing that they've added is that you can inspect the certain amount of the traffic. So it doesn't need to be a hard, now it's on and now it's off. You can actually gradually deploy it and check a percentage of the traffic, so the risk of something breaking is a lot less. And HTTPS is something that is I would say it's tricky to inspect, and that's why Checkpoint is putting a lot of effort into it, because it has to do with like client certificates and, well, there is a bunch of things when it comes to HBS. It's more or less completely, it needs to be a dedicated video because there is a lot to cover there. But this one is the one that I really think will help a bunch of people to really start to use it, because you're a bit afraid when you enable HTTPS, both when it comes to functionality and when it comes to how much performance will hit the box. So when you can select a certain amount of traffic that you will actually inspect, I think that's a good thing. So if we continue here, we have the new clustering technology, the ElasticXL. So ElasticXL is a way to use the hardware more efficiently. So when it comes to ClusterXL, the normal way to set up a cluster is to have it in HA, meaning you use one of two boxes. But ElasticXL, you're able to use both of the boxes to utilize the hardware in a much more efficient way. However, when it comes to ElasticXL, it doesn't work for everything. So if we check the release notes for R82, we can see supported environments. So management servers and log servers are possible to run on appliances and on open servers and virtual machines. Not all appliances, but these appliances. And if we scroll down, we see here security gateways or clusters, and not all models support ElasticXL. So these are the ones that support ElasticXL. So the smallest boxes here, and even the chassis, and the smallest series of the 5,000 boxes do not support ElasticXL. And we also see here that open servers and virtual machines do not support ElasticXL as well. So as of today, in November 2024, it's only specific appliances that work with ElasticXL. And just to have mentioned it as well, when it comes to VSNext requires ElasticXL. So it's the same limitation, or actually more limitations on VSNext as it is with the ElasticXL. Then we have a new way to have multiple identity providers. I hope that Checkpoint will put it in on-prem things as well with put more and more capabilities and effort into the identity collector. I don't know if they will do it, but currently they are putting more effort into external services that you can fetch from. And when it comes to the IPsec VPN, so IPsec VPN, I would say, is really driven by public cloud and make it easy. So a few things here that I think is really cool is, for example, this one. So automatically detect configuration changes in AWS or Azure or Google Cloud to adjust the VPN settings. So you can change settings in the public cloud and it will automatically change on the gateways itself. This is cool. They're also adding monitoring capabilities for VPN tunnels. Mm-hmm. And yes, so we are really clear about this. When it comes to the new monitoring capabilities, I would say all of the new ones that I have seen that you want to see, for that you want to have, it's not that they put it in the Checkpoint GUI, so to say. Yes, they add more capabilities in the GUI and the CLI as well with the insights, same as CPView. But they require you to have Prometheus. and Grafana. So the requirements to have this additional monitoring for the VPN tunnels, you need to run R82 on both the management station and the gateways. And you need to have an external server running the Prometheus and Grafana. So you need to have this external server to have this capability to have the additional logging and monitoring that you require now in 2024. I think this is a good approach because most large companies do have some sort of Prometheus Grafana server to really keep their monitoring in a more efficient way. Meaning you're not depending on SNMP. You want it to be more telemetry. And when you want to have more telemetry, you need to have this Grafana Prometheus server and really have detailed logging, and you need a bunch of performance. You can do your own dashboards, and this is something that you can collect from the Checkpoint community. They add a dashboard for Grafana to make it nice and pretty. Checkpoint provides some, but the community has additional ones, so check out the Checkpoint community for this. I'm not sure if it exists as of today for the VPN, as it's a few days new or a few days old. So I bet it will come. This is also a really cool functionality. So the ability to use different VPN interfaces for different VPN communities. Think about migrations. So I will compare it similar to VTIs. Maybe it's not, but this is something that I really want to check out. And of course, DPD is important. More or less all the new capabilities that comes to VPNs. I hope, I haven't checked, that Checkpoint have added new and improved logging within Smart Log, because existing versions like R81.20 and below, when it comes to VPN monitoring within Smart Log, it sucks. Yeah. So some of the errors you don't see, you need to use like a specific tool to check it. You need to go in CLI, and I think you shouldn't need to do that. So hopefully they add more and more features that you can make the VPNs work good. Again, like V2 for remote access clients, so that's good. They're adding more functionalities to the Smart Console, which is great. I don't know how much of this is added in the web Smart Console. The web Smart Console, as of today in November 2024, is still lacking a lot of features. More and more is coming, but it's not up to par for a system admin, so to say. It works for like an application owner and so on to check rules and search for some logs and so on. But as of today, it's fairly limited, and I hope a bunch of new features will come. SAML support for mobile access, always good. SAML is really popular when it comes to large corporation, to make it easier for everyone. New support for dynamic routing, and it looks like a few for BGP and some for static routing maybe. New support for dynamic routing is always great. They're referring to API commands, so I guess they added some new features within the API as well. Additional performance, meaning more things are supported within Hyperflow. So Hyperflow is also something that is only for appliances, as far as I know, and Hyperflow is to fix issues with elephant flows. meaning before hyperflow, an elephant flow is when one connection is hogging one CPU core. And because it's one connection, it cannot use more than one CPU core. But hyperflow allows the box to dynamically allocate the multiple cores for one connection. So you can have a lot more performance when it comes to, for example, backups. So when they add support for CIFS and SMB, that's great because this is regarding file share. And this is something that can really take a bunch of performance. When it comes to the Maestro and scalable chassis, I haven't checked so much. I haven't worked so much with this, but they're adding more different commands to make it more easy, I would say. So I will skip that part for now because I don't have any Maestro. Oh, actually, I have a Maestro Lab, but I haven't played with it. So I will not talk about it. So here we come to some new things. So VSX. VSX is something that I'm really passionate about. So now the new feature is VSNext. And the idea of VSNext is to make it easier and have it a more similar experience as a normal security gateway, because there is a bunch of limitations when it comes to VSX. I think some of these limitations are great. Checkpoint maybe don't agree with all of it. And VSX Next will require some additional features to work great for service providers, according to me. But it's a great start. It gives the possibility to have mini Maestro, more performance for one single VS that can span across multiple physical appliances. But because it doesn't work for open servers, I'm a bit... I cannot use it. I will make a few videos about it because I actually have a few Checkpoint appliances. So I will show you how it works. It's cool. But I found something else when it comes to VSX. So in the new Management API reference, version 2, they are talking about APIs for VSX. And it doesn't state VSNext here, and I hope it's not the typo, because I really hope that this will come or has come to R82, because APIs for VSX has been missing. You haven't been able to run any useful commands within APIs or VSX. But now I see some commands. And so the ones that I've been looking for is, for example, this one. So management CLI VSX provisioning tool, add VD interface, meaning create an interface for a virtual device within a VSX cluster. That's perfect. Or this one. So it will be management CLI VSX provisioning tool, add route or must, I don't know how to say that. But more or less add routes within APIs for VSX to a VS itself. I've been waiting years for this, so I really hope it's not the typo, and I really hope it works because this is a game changer for me. And this is something that I've been missing for a long time. So this I'm excited about. We need to try it. There are some new tools. I don't see that they referring to Insight here. Maybe it comes later. But Insight is a new graphical GUI within CLI, similar to CPView, but even cooler. There are some new, like, GUI, CLI, commands, things as well. We will talk about it. More useful things that I've been missing. LLDP for VSX. LLDP maybe sounds like just the discovery protocol. It's great. Now I don't need to shut down interface to see which interface is going down to verify how the connectivity is. Then I can check in LLDP how the box is connected. Perfect. So, yeah. And same with this one. Two-factor login to the Gaia OS. Yeah. So the Gaia OS login. Why not? Make it easier, make it simpler. And then some storing of backups to S3 and Azure. I guess that's great. But this one, that's the shit. When it comes to security management server, yeah, this one is the important one. The possibility to run API calls for VSX provisioning. So this must be for VSX and not for VSNext. So that's good. Additional features within the Web Smart Console, always good. This is something that we have been missing. I don't know if hit counts is still missing. Hit counts is the most important thing within the Web Smart Console. If you have hit counts, it's much easier for everyone, so add hit counts. And if you have already added hit counts, thank you, never mind my comments. Additional features when it comes to the central deployment and version upgrades in Smart Console. So this is great, make it easier to keep up to date. We want it as simple as possible. You shouldn't be afraid of upgrading jumbo hotfixes. This is something that the goal should be to be able to do it during full production, daytime, when everyone else is working. Can you do it? Yeah, maybe. If it fails, can you never do it again? Yeah, that's true. So, but in general, make it easier to keep up to date is always good. What do we have for MDS? Oh, ability to clone. Maybe this fixes my issue with renaming objects. I don't know. We need to try that. This is something that could be good. If it's really a clone and it takes the VS within the CMA and you can rename the domain, that would be great. But in general, things that improve additional functionalities and capabilities that you can move around things and make it easier, especially for migration. So if you, for example, create a new VSX cluster, you do different VSs for each CMA, you clone a CMA. Sounds good. We need to try it. Compliance features, new ISO, that's important. Israel stuff. Israel is good with security. What do we have here? We have support for identity sharing. I don't know how this cloud controller works with identity sharing. Honestly, my thing when it comes to identity sharing and identities in general is that it should go from the identity collector and be collected by each gateway independently. I don't like when it's moved across different gateways. The problem is that not all functions is available on the identity collector, such as the the browser, the terminal servers. So I understand why the sharing is there, but I think it would be better if terminal servers would go to the identity collector instead, because then it can spread across a larger network without this gateway sharing, and you can really put all identities within the identity collector instead. I think that makes more sense, and I think that would scale a lot better. Yes, this is something that I've taken up with Checkpoint before, but I don't know if they agree. Let's see. I still hope. Harmony endpoint. I don't run Harmony endpoint myself, but all improvements are good. If you want to see like this is the changes between two different releases, you can check the SK 180180. So one thing that, for example, is hard to see in a release note that is stated in here is that the Gaia OS Linux kernel is updated. So an updated Linux kernel means additional support for additional, or hopefully it means additional support for additional network interfaces, and hopefully that they add more open servers, because open servers hasn't been added for a long period of time and it needs to be added. And then they also state like, yeah, this is changed these specific packages, these commands are changed. Here is also one like a default when it comes to concurrent connections. So the old VSX has 50,000 concurrent connection and the new one has 50,000. And this more or less has to do with all machines has more RAM. And concurrent connection, it takes memory. So bigger boxes has more memory, so it's easier to have support for it now. And also that you can run clish commands when you point to a virtual ID. Good feature. What do we have more? We have a bunch new commands. So instead of this ASG that is for Maestro, now it's show cluster or insights. So insights is the one I was talking about, the new GUI to check things. But this is something that you can read yourself about the changes that has been made. But I would say the most important one in general is this, the Gaia, the Linux kernel update to a more newer version. When it comes to the support, so R82 will have support minimum until Q4 2028. So if you are today running on R81.10, which many are, this is end of support in Q3 2025, so in 1 year. If you update to R8020, you get 1 more year. And I think that, I don't know, but I think that R81.20 is stable enough to run full production on. With an asterisk. I still maintain, when it comes to VSX, you should wait until HFA 100. And if I'm not mistaken, the current HFA is like 87. So a few more months, and then we can upgrade all our VSXs to R81.20. As of now, I keep it on R81.10. All the other stuff, management servers, normal gateways, R81.20 without an issue. VSX, slow down. It's also a highlight like what Checkpoint think is the most important regarding this version. And I don't know, they added Titan on the old one, but they haven't added any cool name here. Maybe it will come. When it comes to upgrades and support, you need to check the SK113113. So this is something that you should be aware of. You're able to upgrade your management station from R77.30 up to R82. Yes, there is an asterisk here, so you need to check like number 3. So you need to follow this this upgrade steps, meaning you may need to do multiple upgrades, but at least you're able to. So one thing that was super true before, it was always like your management station need to be the highest version, and then the gateways can be maximum the version of the management station. This limitation was removed before, but now it's back. So if you want to run R82 gateways, you need to have R82 management station. This may change because normally this functionality is added within a Jumbo hotfix. So it may come a Jumbo hotfix to R82, or it may come a Jumbo hotfix to R81.20 that allows it to have R82 gateways. But as of today, November 3, 2024, to run R82 gateways, you need to have an R82 management station. And this SK will be updated if this change, and it has changed before, and that's why you see these highlights to say like, yeah, you need this specific Jumbo hotfix to have this support. So I think it will come. One thing that would talk against it is the Elastic XL and the VSNext, but maybe not. We will see. So check this before you upgrade. It's important. If you're running on virtual machines or open servers, you need to check the hardware compatibility list. So as of today, it's not listed what is required and supported for R82, but in the release notes it says that the management station and the log server can run on virtual environments, but it's not listed here as of yet. So I'm expecting this to be updated within the next few days. When it comes to open servers for both security gateways and security management servers, R82 has been added. So we can see here that a bunch of boxes will work for R82. Elastic XL and VSNext will not work for open servers or virtual environments. In lab, it does, but for production, it's not supported. If we check the support lifecycle policy, we can also see like the R82 has been added here. So we see October 2028 that it's supported too. We can also see which appliances has support for R82. So for example, this 3100 appliance does support R82. However, it does not work with Elastic XL because it's not within the Elastic XL, and therefore it doesn't work with VSNext either because it's required to have it. 3100 is a small box, but for like 5000 series here, you need to go up a few steps before you get the new functionalities. As always, there is a bunch of documentation that you can read. More will come within the next days. All SKs are maybe not updated as of yet. More and more come every day as far as I see it. As always, there are some interesting forum posts about R82 now when it's general availability and everyone can see it. So I would recommend you, if you're interested about R82 and some, I would say, maybe not hidden, but not so known features as of yet, check out the Checkmate community. They write good things about it. There are multiple ones. So Eiko and Timothy always add new stuff. They go way too much into the code. But yeah, there are new things that is available within R82, and more things will be informed to us. I would say within CPX 2025, Checkpoint will talk a bunch about R82. So I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.